Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be looking into Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony.
Yeah, have you heard of him? Yeah, definitely. He's been in the news a lot lately. He has, yeah. Men North of Richmond. It's like everywhere right now.
Everywhere you go, that's all you hear.
So we wanted to take a deep dive into this guy.
Yeah. Figure out what's going on, you know?
Yeah. Is he the real deal?
Is he for real?
Or is this all just a big act?
Right.
I mean, the guy went from like 0 to 100 like that.
I know. It's wild, right? Like 1 minute he's playing at a farmer's market.
Yeah, and the next he's like #1 on Billboard.
#1. And it's not just any #1.
I know, right?
He's the first artist ever to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
First one ever.
Without any prior charting history. It's unheard of.
It's insane. So we've got a ton of stuff to go through today.
Yeah, we've got articles, we've got charts, we've got social media posts.
Trying to paint a picture of who this guy really is.
Right, because it's not just about the music.
There's a lot more to it.
It's the whole package, the controversy, the politics, the sellout accusations.
That whole thing, yeah.
We got to look at it all.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. How did this guy even come out of nowhere like that?
Well, he wasn't exactly nowhere. He was playing local gigs, open mics, you know.
Right, but like nobody knew him outside of his like little town in Virginia.
Yeah, Farmville, Virginia, I think. And then boom, Men North of Richmond drops.
And the internet explodes.
It went viral, like wildfire. Millions of views in a matter of days.
So clearly the song struck a nerve with a lot of people.
Definitely. I mean, you listen to the lyrics and it's like raw emotion. You know, it's about working class struggles. It's about feeling forgotten. It's about being fed up with the system.
Yeah, there's definitely some anger in there.
Oh, yeah. There's anger. There's frustration. There's a sense of like betrayal almost.
And some people found that really appealing.
Absolutely. Especially folks who feel like they're not being represented, like their voices aren't being heard.
So let's talk about the song itself, Men North of Richmond. What is it about those lyrics that resonated with so many people?
Well, on the surface, it's about the struggles of working class Americans, right? The feeling of being squeezed by the system, the rich getting richer while the poor get poorer.
Yeah, and not just the economics of it.
Right. There's also this sense of like a cultural disconnect, a feeling that the values of everyday people are being ignored or even mocked.
Like the whole elitist thing that he talks about.
Exactly. That feeling that the people in power are out of touch with the realities of everyday life.
And then there are those lines that caused all the controversy.
Oh, yeah. The lines about welfare and obesity, those definitely got people talking.
Yeah, because some folks saw that as like taking aim at the poor, blaming the victims.
Right. And others saw it as like a critique of the welfare system itself, like it's not actually helping people escape poverty.
So there's a lot to unpack there.
Definitely. And it's important to remember that people are going to interpret those lyrics in different ways based on their own experiences and beliefs.
All right, there's no one right answer.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole thing so interesting.
Okay, so the song blows up, it goes viral, and suddenly Oliver Anthony is this household name.
And then the politicians start taking notice.
Yeah, that's when things get really wild.
Yeah, Men North of Richmond became this like anthem for the right wing.
It was even played at the GOP debate.
I know, right? And Ron DeSantis praised him on social media, calling him a new, authentic voice for the working class.
But it wasn't just the politicians.
No, Fox News picked it up too. They had him on for an interview, and he talked about the importance of diversity.
And that's when the whole sellout thing started.
Yeah, some of his fans felt like he was betraying them by talking about diversity and inclusivity.
Like he was going against the message of the song.
Right, and suddenly he's caught in this political crossfire.
So we've got this guy who comes out of nowhere, taps into this deep vein of working class angst, and then gets caught in this political whirlwind.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to pick up next time.
We'll dive deeper into the controversy, the accusations, and try to figure out what Oliver Anthony really stands for.
Exactly. Stay tuned.
It's like he's this walking contradiction, right?
Yeah.
Is it all an act, or is he just kind of figuring things out as he goes?
It is confusing, right? But one thing that really stands out to me is that he's turned down some pretty big record deals.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals.
Huge money. Most artists would jump at that chance.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, he wants to keep control of his music, his message. He even talked about how the music industry having access to all that fan data is kind of creepy.
Terrifying, I think he called it.
Yeah. So you've got this guy who's suspicious of big government, distrustful of the music industry.
What's he into then?
Well, I think he's tapping into this really widespread feeling of disillusionment. Like so many people feel like the system's rigged against them. He's become a symbol of that.
The symbol of resistance.
Yeah, and that resonates whether it's intentional or not, you know?
It's definitely a powerful thing. And there's a lot to be disillusioned about these days, right? The economy's a mess. Everything feels so divided.
Yeah, politically, culturally.
It's like the perfect storm for someone like Oliver Anthony to come along.
Yeah, his music is raw and unfiltered. He's speaking directly to people who feel like they're being ignored.
But then he throws in those curveballs. Like, one minute he's talking about the importance of a melting pot America, and the next minute,
He's saying things that sound straight out of the conservative playbook. It's hard to reconcile.
it really is.
Right.
So what's the explanation? Is he just trying to figure things out as he goes?
Yeah, maybe he's a genuine guy who's still working through his beliefs. I mean, most of us aren't perfectly consistent, right?
Yeah, we all have our contradictions.
Exactly. Or maybe he's intentionally playing both sides to appeal to a wider audience.
Having his cake and eating it too.
Maybe. And the thing is, it's working. He's stayed pretty mysterious despite all the attention.
Yeah. He's not out there doing every interview, every talk show.
He's controlling the narrative.
So does that make him inauthentic? Like, if he's being strategic about it, does that mean he's not a true voice for the working class?
That's the question, isn't it? Can you be authentic and strategic at the same time?
It seems like he's even aware of the whole debate surrounding him. He posted on Facebook that the ass has got to stop.
Yeah, it's got to be overwhelming, right? He's got the right wing claiming him as their hero, the left wing criticizing him, the music industry trying to sign
It's a
him.
lot to handle.
So maybe that's why he's stepping away from it all.
You mean the traveling ministry thing? The real revival project?
Yeah. He says he wants to connect with people on a deeper level, make a real difference.
He's also talked about his struggles with mental health, addiction.
Yeah, that adds another dimension to it, right? Maybe he just needs a break from all the pressure, the scrutiny.
Yeah, maybe it's about self-preservation.
But at the same time, he's got these big plans for these grassroots festivals, revitalizing small towns, bringing music back to the people.
Bypassing Ticketmaster, all that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's retreating from the public eye entirely.
So is he running away or is he running towards something? It's hard to tell.
Right. Is this a strategic retreat or a genuine evolution?
I mean, is this guy running from something or running to something? It's like a real head scratcher.
You know, it's funny. He's really become this blank canvas for people to project their own ideas onto.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, people see what they want to see in him.
Exactly. Whether that's like the working class hero
The conservative firebrand.
or the guy who's just trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, it's like everyone's got their own Oliver Anthony.
And that speaks to something deeper, I think. You know, like this need, we all have to believe in something.
To find someone who gets it.
Yeah, who
Look at this.
understands our struggles, our frustrations.
And in a world that feels so divided,
Yeah, where everyone's shouting at each other.
like we're all searching for that connection.
And Oliver Anthony, for whatever reason, he's tapped into that.
Yeah, he's become this symbol of, like, unity or something.
Or at least the possibility of unity.
Even if he doesn't have all the answers himself.
Right, maybe that's the point.
Maybe it's not about him having the answers.
But about us all asking the questions together.
And having those conversations, even if they're difficult.
Yeah, acknowledging that we're all in this together.
So yeah, maybe Oliver Anthony's legacy, whatever that ends up being.
Whether he's a visionary or a grifter or something in between,
He's reminded us that we're not alone,
that there's power in shared experience.
and that sometimes the most unexpected voices can spark a movement.
Yeah, conversation, a shift in perspective.
Well said. It's a lot to think about.
It is. So what do you think? What stands out to you about Oliver Anthony?
I think, for me, it's that reminder to be critical. You know,
Oh, yeah, totally.
don't just take things at face value, question everything.
Especially in this age of like information overload.
Yeah, with social media, the 24-hour news cycle.
It's easy to get swept up in the hype.
But we got to step back and ask ourselves,
What's real? What's genuine?
and what's just being sold to us?
Those are the questions to keep asking, not just about Oliver Anthony.
But about everything.
Everything.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today, but we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Oliver Anthony? Gifted or grifter? Let us know in the comments. And join us next time for another deep dive into the world of someone who's got people talking, arguing, maybe even thinking a little differently about the world. Until then, stay curious.